Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. Hey, come over here. We can answer questions. Delayed.
I'll put my mic on delayed.
I'm really sorry about this. There's only two bars here, so it's probably not the best place to do a live event. I call it a live event. It's basically me and Brian just talking a bunch of rubbish.
Oh, fuck. I nearly swore then. Massive spider.
Yeah, careful what you say, eh? Because you've got that microphone on. I don't know what Brian's doing way over there. So, for those of you that haven't seen my Instagram posts, we're on Hornby Island, which is one of the Gulf Islands, which is just off the east coast of Vancouver Island. And yesterday, you might want to turn your volume down. Yeah, yesterday the weather wasn't that great, and today, as you can see, it's quite sunny. So we have been struggling a little bit. Well, I have anyway. Brian seems to have managed to find something. We're going to need that for the questions.
Oh shit.
Excuse me for a sec.
Did you bring me one?
No, you didn't ask for one. You can have a sip of mine if you want.
I shared my crackers with you.
No, you didn't. You didn't have any crackers.
Andrew Findlay says professional as usual. Professional as usual.
That's me. I'm all about professionalism,
Cheese from Belgium.
doing things on the fly as always.
Watching, drinking.
Yeah, pretty riveting, isn't it? So I think.
He's saying bring up the sound level.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't see for the light.
How do you bring up the sound level? Let's try this. No.
He's not got a volume control, no.
Um,
Crank the volume. Wonder if you can do it on the mic. Stay with us, we're novices. We're novices in
well, you
this
just put it
field.
closer to your mouth like that.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Is that better when I hold the mic to my lips?
How do you crank up the volume on an iPhone?
Just swipe down. No matching outfits. Yeah, I think it's better if we hold it nearer to our mouth, a bit like that. Does that work? Does that work better? Someone said the volume's fine.
Oh.
Someone's yanking our chain.
Well, you could probably just turn the volume up on your computer or your TV. That would probably work, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Why did you pick this rock?
I don't know. Because you didn't. I asked for input and you didn't give me any input whatsoever.
Because I was busy.
And I said, well, I'll go over to this rock. You go, oh yeah, all right, that's good.
I was busy producing next week's video.
Right now, there is some questions down here somewhere.
Hold on.
Get off the live event and go to the.
Producing next week's video.
Yeah, get off that. Right now, there is some questions down here somewhere.
Yeah, but it won't play.
Huh?
Hold on, I'll turn the volume down. That'll work.
Just go to my original post. People can ask questions here, I guess.
Yeah.
Are there any questions?
So if I play it live, then these are gonna come up. Yeah.
Two handsome guys sitting on a rock.
I'll agree with that. Partly. This side of the rock.
Little mountain lookout. No, this is Hornby Island, one of the Gulf Islands. It's about an hour's drive north of where I live, which is in Parksville, and you have to take two ferries, very short ferries. So one to Denman Island and then Hornby Island. And this area here is beautiful. This is called Halliwell Park. I've done a number of videos here. It's I think the land was donated to the province years and years ago by a family. So it's all wildlands and it goes out on this massive spit. So you can take the trail to my right and go all the way around, and then you can see the trail on the other side here. But there's all these arbutus trees and old Douglas fir. And then in the spring, you get the herring run. So you'll have hundreds of bald eagles out here and seal and whales. It's quite spectacular, actually. Oh, someone used to live on Denman. Someone says, oh, sorry for asking, can it be a bit louder? No, because we haven't figured out how to do it louder. Talk
Oh,
like this.
I might hold mine.
Okay. I'll just hold it like this.
Hello.
I'll have to figure that out for next time.
Is this better? Yeah.
I don't know. So if you go to my original post, there are some questions because nobody's put any questions here.
Yeah. You'll have to hold me fluffy. Where's that?
On my channel,
Oh, have you got a YouTube channel?
I do. So if you go to videos, yeah, that one. There we go. Just look in the questions. All right. So let's start at the bottom. Oh, that's the top question. All right, well, let's start. Darcy asks, besides being out there and soaking up nature, what's each of your best recommendation for getting in the mindset to see compositions?
Slow down is one of them, and just leave the camera in the bag.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. This trip, I've taken one photograph,
Yeah, it's been tricky.
but Brian has been quite a bit more into it than I have on this trip. Colin was here earlier. I don't. Did he take any photographs?
I think he took some last night when we got that rain shower. You know, when it was raining, I think there was
Yeah.
some light. It wasn't amazing light, but it was still something.
I think for me, I mean, it's a bit different for Brian and I because Brian has a regular job, like so he can only get out on the weekends. So he, I guess in some ways you feel like you have to get something, right?
Yeah, it's sometimes it's the pressure of YouTube. You feel like you have to get a video out, and
Where
it gets in the way of photography sometimes.
yeah, and I, on the other hand, I can come out here pretty much any time. I just have to kind of put other things aside, so I can just come out here at the drop of a hat or a pin, and when the weather's kind of the way I want it. So it's a little bit easier for me. And I think if you come out when the conditions are optimum or the way that you want them, then that really helps. Um,
That
uh,
just didn't happen on this trip, did it?
no, but I don't mind. I mean, I just love just hanging out and just talking crap with Brian
Yeah,
and Colin and just wandering around.
that's
And
it.
we had a
Yeah.
we had a good time just camping out and
I think you've just got to assess the conditions and just try and think out the box sometime. You know, today's harsh light, but we came to these trees yesterday.
yeah.
Some nice textures on the trees, so you can go into the smaller areas where you have got shade, you have got better light, you know. So there's always a way around getting shots if you really want them.
But I think it is hard getting into the mindset. I think, but if you try and force it, then that definitely doesn't work. Like the condition like this, I have a hard time with it. But that's not to say there aren't good photographs here. You just have to kind of change your approach and look for things that perhaps go with this type of light. And in this case, I would go for more intimate scenes because it's just easier to deal with the light. You can put your shadow over them, or you can reflect light back into the areas,
Yeah,
stuff
that's
like
what I
that.
had them to do.
All right, what's
Next,
next?
next question.
Adam, is the alpine gear you are looking for to supplement the gear you already have, or are you considering moving on from medium format? Okay, so earlier I asked, I- am I might be looking for another camera, and this would be for hiking, backpacking. Now, the Fuji that I have is amazing. I really enjoy the Fuji, all the Fuji cameras that I have. The GFX is an amazing camera. I love using it, but for backpacking, it's just too heavy. And I've been using the XT20. I think it's the X. Is it XT20? X. I can't remember the names of them. Anyway, it's a very small camera. But I was just wondering if there was a full frame camera that's as light, or if not lighter, than what I'm using. So people have been giving recommendations. So this would be a supplement to what I'm already using. And the brand, I'm not attached to any brand. It doesn't matter if it's Canon, a Nikon, Fuji,
Yeah,
Olympus. I don't really care. I don't care if it's not a professional camera, um, but I am looking for a full frame camera. Now, finding lightweight cameras is very easy. The hard part is finding lightweight lenses. And ideally, I would be looking at two zoom lenses, one in the wider range and then one in the longer focal lengths. So ideally up to 300. Someone recommended the Sigma 28 to 300 and this, I think it was a 17 to 30, I
can't remember what
think,
it
I can't
was.
remember. So I'll probably have a look at those, or Tamron, I don't know.
Tamron. I think it was
The
Tamron.
A7, the Sony A7C comes up a lot, so I might have a look at that. Also, used gear doesn't have to be the newest and greatest. Because what I find is with landscape photography or the type of photography I do, I mean, I don't care about autofocus and all the bells and whistles because I never use that stuff. I don't need it. I just need something that I can change the aperture and the ISO and the shutter speed really quickly. And I use autofocus because my eyes aren't that great, but manual focus is fine as well. So if you guys have any recommendations, that would be awesome. Maybe leave them in the comments because I won't remember them if you just type them out.
Dadden says when we're going to Ireland, so Brian can have a nice pint of proper Guinness. That sounds like a plan. I'm in. When we're going.
As soon as Darren pays for the flight to
Yeah,
go,
if Dadden pays for the flights,
I'll be there in a shot.
then we'll go.
I'd love to go to Ireland.
Yeah, I've never been.
I mean, there's tons of places I'd love to go, but the biggest problem is as well expense, and well, that's just it, expense. Nothing more than that.
So
And we saw that one. Hi Adam, what do you do to stay fit? Well, during COVID, I kind of let myself go a little bit. I got up to 212 pounds, which is the most I've ever weighed, probably because of the the whiskey and the beer I was drinking. So I've lost a little bit of weight. I'm down to 200 pounds now. I would like to get down to 190 or perhaps 180. I'm lucky in that I've always been active. So for me to go out and exercise, I don't mind the pain because I know what it's like to get back in shape. I do run quite a bit, believe it or not. I used to run ultras. I don't do that anymore because it was just taking way too much time. But I try to run at least every other day, and I usually go about 13 kilometers or 10 kilometers. The problem with running is that it's not great if you want to try and lose weight, and also running just uses specific muscles. So when Brian and I went up 50/40 the other day, and when I went up Kings Peak, I mean, it took me several days to recover because my legs were just thrashed. I don't know about Brian, but
yeah, 2 or 3 days at least.
yeah, I mean, my legs were sore, and that was mostly from coming down. I'll be 60 next month, so it doesn't get any it doesn't get any easier.
I
That's for
slipped
sure.
twice.
Carrying gear is the biggest hurdle. So what I've been doing lately, and hence that's why I've been asking about the lighter cameras. I've started getting rid of some of my older backpacking gear, and I've been buying some ultralight gear. So that's really helpful if you're not carrying too much gear. But my recommendation, if you want to get fit, just go for walks every day. That's probably the best way to get fit. Try and get more and more walks in. Ideally, if you could walk for an hour a day, that would be your best bet. If you live in an area where you can't go walking, then perhaps look at a treadmill, which aren't the greatest things, but it's better than just sitting behind a computer all day. I know when Karen and I, my partner Karen, when we went to the Drakensberg last year, Karen did a lot of walking, and she started walking with weights on her back just to get in shape, and that really helped. So, and you do a lot of swimming, right?
Yeah, I do a lot of swimming. Yeah.
Like if you're not into running or walking, then swimming is good. Cycling, I mean, anything really to keep moving. I mean, as soon as you sit down, then you just start to seize up, and that's when your knees start to go. And it's not from overusing them; it's from lack of using them, I think. Anyway, I'm not an expert, but that's my.
Daz 78 says, what first got you both into photography? What got you into it? Climbing, being outdoors.
Um,
For me, it was when I started travelling, because I haven't been doing photography for that long. So I travelled to the Rocky Mountains in 2013. I had my iPhone 4, and I was just taking pictures with my phone. And I got back, looked at the pictures, and it just evolved from there. Started getting into interested in photography. So I travelled for a couple of years, and then I eventually moved to Canada, and that's when I got my first camera in around 2015. And yeah, just been doing it ever since. Started doing videos, and I think that pushed us along to do more photography and travel to more locations, and it's just evolved in time. And then when did I meet you? Met Adam in
that's 7 or 8 years ago,
about
wasn't
7 or 8 years ago, and then started coming to the island, and it's just gone on from there. What about
it? I
you?
actually met Brian at it was an art show at Art Vancouver.
Art
I
Vancouver,
was doing
yeah.
an exhibit at Art Vancouver, and Brian, I guess you were watching my videos, and you came down and said hello, didn't you?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I didn't watch for the images, just for the locations.
as we all do.
But yeah, it just went on from there. I thought, you know what, I'm going to get a ticket. He was British. Well, he sounded British. And I thought I'll go down and meet Adam, and it's, yeah, so pushed each other, I suppose, to a certain extent.
Are we still live? I hope so.
Yeah. And then I met Gavin, and then came out on trips with you and Gavin, and
Yeah. As far as myself, I started photography back in the early 80s. Late 80s. I was kind of in a bit of a bind. I taught rock climbing for about 10 years, did a lot of climbing and mountaineering, and then I kind of got out of it, and I was in a kind of a rut of what to do. And my girlfriend at the time, she had taken a photography course with a photographer named John Shaw, which is an American nature photographer, and she had a book of his. So I just noticed the book and started looking through the book, and I just thought, wow, these are amazing. So I started dabbling with my own photography, bought a tripod and a proper camera, and I thought the camera would make me a better photographer, whereas it didn't really do anything. And then in the early 90s, I went back to college and took a photography program at Langara Community College in Vancouver. And the idea was to work in a studio, but that never worked out. I worked in a studio for a couple of weeks, and I hated it. All they did was complain about how much money they weren't making. So I figured I got to do something else. So I ended up doing editorial photography for 20 odd years for magazines. And then, of course, when the internet got popular, magazines pretty much died the way of the dodo. So that's when I started YouTube. I guess that was 7 or 8 years ago. And the YouTube thing was just to try and get clients to come on photography workshops, because that's pretty much where any of the money is these days, is just education. Selling the rights to images is pretty much non-existent now. So that's how we got here. Right, what other questions do we have? What's that?
I'm laughing at Colin. Colin's saying, stop playing with your phone. He said, see you fellas again soon. Yeah, we'll see you again soon, Colin. Bill says, hey, we're the same age.
Oh, right.
That must be you.
Yeah, Brian's 80.
Yeah.
Oh, look, turkey vulture.
Yeah.
Oh, flew right over her head.
Be after my sarnies. Anyway, so I'm going through some of these. Do you guys have to deal with a lot of ticks here, there?
Um, No,
I've never noticed
I've
any.
never noticed any here, but there must be. There's tons of deer here, and it's very dry. So, um, but I've never found. Now, if you go in the interior, definitely, but not so much on the island.
Oh, here's the one for you.
What's that?
Have you tried light painting? Interesting tree. You were going to do that, weren't you?
It was fun. It's funny you should mention that. I keep meaning to do that. But I'm not going to reveal it because otherwise someone will go out and do it before me. But there's a couple of areas where I would like to do a bit of light painting. I just haven't got round to it yet. But yes, that is on my list of things to do. Is that how many people are watching?
Yeah.
Oh, there's quite a few, eh?
Must be because I'm on.
It
Cheers,
must be.
guys. Cheers. It's very much appreciated.
Well, it's much easier doing it with other people, with other people, because when you're on your own, it's a bit awkward, you know.
What, like this rock?
Yeah, it's not very comfortable, is it?
It's
I thought we could just lean up against it.
It's the worst location, but we can't do it out there. It's too bright.
What else we got? What does Jennifer say? Cover your face with the mic. We hear you much better.
Is that better?
Like that? What, did you just stick it up your nose? Sorry, guys, if you can't hear very well, I'll have to figure out the mics. I thought it just did it automatically, but obviously not.
Aurora tomorrow night. Aurora.
Oh, right.
I'll be at work.
So Brian's going back, but I'm thinking of, it's supposed to be nice for a couple of days, so I'm thinking of actually going for a jaunt up Triple Peak, which I've never climbed before. So that's the one opposite 5040. It's pretty much a one-shot deal. There's a nice little lake up there, and then you've got the peaks behind them. But I've never been up there, so if I have the energy tomorrow, that's what I'm going to do and spend the night, and then I'll try and put together a video. Thanks ever so much, by the way, for the comments on my last video. That was a lot of effort, but I really appreciate all the feedback. So I'll be trying to do more of that. And I think, Brian, you're going to be trying to do a bit more of that kind of thing, aren't you?
Yeah.
A bit more adventure stuff, or...
Well, we've got Panorama Ridge. We're going to do that one.
Yeah, but don't let everybody up
Oh,
there
yeah,
next
yeah,
weekend.
because, yeah. Well, we actually met a guy last night. I don't know if he's watching. Mike.
Oh, yeah.
When we were heading back to the car, one of the guys that follows us, and he was out shooting photography down on the coast this morning, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So it's always good to meet you when we're out, out and about. I often see people when doing street photography in Vancouver. If you haven't seen those videos, take a look. They're not very popular. No, they don't do too bad.
Okay, what else we got? Come on.
Brian looks like an ex-cop who got
is.
kicked off the force.
He is. I don't know why he cuts his hair so short. Looks like a skinhead.
Have you burnt all Gavin's books?
No comment. If you're wondering how we managed to get those books, when Gavin printed that book, I think he had 1,000 copies made. Every single one of them the colors were off. So they had to be printed again. And so we ended up sending most of them back. But we kept a few. So that's how we ended up having a few to burn. It wasn't we were burning good books. It was just the rejects. So otherwise that would have been very wasteful. They don't burn that well either because I guess the ink has some kind of chemical in it. So it wasn't burning too well.
Robert says, a few videos back you were using a new mount. Are you moving away from L brackets?
No, I love the L bracket. But the problem with that clip is that to use an L bracket, you would have to have two of them attached, which kind of just adds more unnecessary weight. The reason why I didn't have an L bracket on that particular camera was to cut down on the weight a little bit, and also because the company reached out to me and wanted me to try it out, and I actually really liked it. It was called the Q38 from iFootage. It's really quite good, but it's not something, it's not really necessary. It just makes putting your camera on and off really quick. So if you're into wildlife and stuff, that might be okay. But then if you're using a long lens with that little clip, I don't know as if it would be that great. I don't know.
I like my L bracket.
Yeah, but I do. Yeah, I do like the L bracket.
Are you planning? Are you planning any workshops in the US?
No, not at this time because I have to get a visa to work in the States legally. And also a lot of the places where people go, the parks and that, you need all kinds of permits. It's just too much of a hassle. Most people that I think that work in the States are probably doing it under the table, unless they have a. I know Alistair tried to get a work visa for a bunch of talks he was going to do, and it ended up being a nightmare. So it's just easier for me to do them in Canada. It's unfortunate because I'd love to do some stuff down there, but it's just a hassle I don't need.
Is your water nice?
It's really refreshing actually. Do you want some?
I'm not drinking out of that. You slathered in it.
I haven't backwashed in it.
What's back?
Yeah, real.
That's a new one. Backwashed.
Come on, Brian, keep up. He's just looking for the prime questions.
Any any plans to move to New Zealand or to come to New Zealand? To go
Oh,
to
I'd
New
love
Zealand?
to go to New Zealand.
Yeah, it's nice there.
I'd love to go. Have you been there?
No, my friends live there. It looks pretty spectacular, but
No, I mean, there's lots of places I'd love to go. The biggest problem is just is the money, having the money to go to these
yeah.
places. It gets expensive.
Like
I mean,
coming here this weekend, it's close by, but it's probably cost me $200.
yeah. I mean, the ferry just to come here is $85, and then camping is
Your
another
food, and your
$40.
yeah.
Gas, and that's just up the road. Flying, usually when I fly to another country, it's because I'm doing some kind of workshop or something. But I mean, Africa was an exception. Karen and I are going back there this March. So as you can imagine, it's quite expensive. You got to fly there, and then we're going with Alex. So I'm going as a regular customer. So Karen and I are paying Alex just as a regular customer. So it all adds up, and so one trip a year I mean, it's great if you can do one trip a year. I mean, last year, or I guess it was this year. I mean, I was really fortunate. I went away a lot, but most of those were because I was doing like a workshop or a tour of some sort. So I was really fortunate that way. But yeah, when I go on my own, yeah, it gets quite
I think
expensive.
that's people watching YouTube. They don't, not everyone, but they don't realise how much it does cost. Even if you've got a small channel, it still costs you quite a lot of money to do trips and
Yeah,
your
I mean,
time.
just to put gas in your truck or car,
Yeah,
the monetization from videos would barely pay for a tank of gas.
yeah.
So you have to
I
find.
do it because I enjoy it. That's why I do it. I don't do it, for the money. Definitely not. I just enjoy the trips, the photography, and I enjoy putting the videos together.
Yeah. But yes, I'd love to go to New Zealand. I'd love to go to New Zealand, Australia. There's lots of places I'd love to go. Bolivia would be another place I'd love to go to.
Brian makes good movies and puts effort in there too.
Oh,
Cheers, mate. What am I going? Nice watching when you two guys work
he's just
together.
looking for questions that are directed to him or comments.
No, there is one that I've passed. He's asking about your 500. Any thoughts on the new GF 500mm lens?
Oh, well, I did borrow one for a very short time, but I barely used it. I didn't really have an opportunity. But I was the one thing that struck me straight away was how light it was. I'd like to get one, but I just don't know how much I would use it. So I don't know if I can justify the price of purchasing one for the amount of times that I'd use it. I use the the 1 to 200 all the time, but the 500 would be for very specific types of photography. You probably could photograph wildlife with it. It wouldn't be as good as some of the other cameras that are out there, but it'd be all right, especially with the teleconverter.
Can we swap sides?
Yeah, sure. Why is your buttock hurting?
Yeah, I've got nothing to lean against.
Well, why don't you just sit on like that? You can put your back against mine.
Do you want to hold the phone for a bit? I've got cramp.
Really?
I've been holding it like that for half an hour.
Oh, you poor boy.
Can people understand a lad from
All right.
Carlisle?
Adam, how about Cumbria or Cornwall?
Cumbria, that's my.
You know, the last time I went to Cornwall, I think my mum and dad rented a caravan and we spent the time on I can't remember where it was. It was a long time ago. I think I was about 5.
I've been down there, but I was only young. I'm still young, but I was younger. You laughing at that? Still young.
Someone sent us 20. Oh, thanks, Barb.
Oh, cheers, Barb.
Now we got. She's probably feeling sorry for us
But she actually said something before, and I meant
because we were complaining about gas and.
Babs asked a question. Where is it at? How do you put up with an obnoxious campmate? I think that's what it was.
Well, Brian is awful because last night. Like I have a rooftop tent. I don't need a rooftop tent on my van, but the reason why I bought it is because when friends come with me, then they have somewhere to sleep. And so when Alistair came over, he slept in it. Mind you, he only slept in it one night, and then he said never again.
Oh, I like it.
And then Paul, I think Paul, he didn't like it either.
Yeah, he didn't like it.
The problem with the tent is that every time I move or someone moves in the tent, it rocks the whole van, so it's not great that way. And then Brian's bloody snoring. Oh my God, it resonates through the whole van. So
it's natural, you know.
It's not natural.
And I only had one beer last night, so I'm surprised I was snoring. I had one can of Guinness last night. Oh, I've still got one in the van.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I should have
results.
brought those out.
Yeah, well, you brought your water. And by the way, guys, I haven't had a drink now for 2 hours.
Oh, here's one. How would you photograph the tree behind you? Well, I'd get my camera out and point it and...
This one curling over?
I'm guessing the big one, that one. Or
Yeah,
this one?
You could place that one in the centre of the one shrouding over.
I don't know. In this light, I probably wouldn't photograph it.
Yeah, the light's pretty...
It's just nice to look at. Someone says they have not picked up a camera for a month. I'm sorry to hear that, Marty.
That happens, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, not so much this year, but I think it was last year, I went the whole summer without picking up a camera, I think. I really had a hard time.
So if you're doing street photography, you know.
But I think you need a break. It doesn't matter what you do, whether it be photography or any other hobby. I think it's good to take a break.
I've actually got a question.
Oh yeah, okay. Let me just finish. I think it's a good idea just to drop it and then start another.
Yeah, definitely.
Do something else for a while, just to get your juices flowing again.
Well, I've had the last 2 weeks off. I didn't take camera out of the bag. But I've got a question for you guys.
All right.
Who would like to see Adam do some street photography?
Oh God. God.
Leave a comment below. Oh, so did they put you on the spot?
Nah, not at all. I just.
One day. You will one day, I think. I think one day.
I wouldn't mind photographing buildings. That would be kind of
Well,
fun.
that could be a start.
But Vancouver's not that interesting. Like the buildings are not. They're just steel and glass.
Oh, that's why you have to be more creative, and you know
Yeah.
you've got to bring that out. You've got you know.
Someone said no. We like The Rock. I agree. Do you have specific lesson plans ready when you host workshops, or do you wing it? No comment.
No, you have a format. You do have a format.
It's funny, when I first started doing workshops, I had it all planned out and people just got bored. I don't know if it was the right format. Like I wanted to do a little bit of processing, and people just weren't into it. They just wanted to spend time
A
outside.
lot of the time, the weather, again, the weather dictates. So it's how the
Yeah.
weather is.
I think the last workshops I've done, what we've done is we've done a bit of a presentation. So in Port Renfrew, because it's mostly just trees we're photographing, I'll do a presentation on photographing trees for an hour, and then whoever it is, whether Alistair or Paul, will, like Alistair likes to do one on more about um, the emotions behind photography rather than the technical aspects. And I think it's a good mix. And then at least people have something to work with when they do go out in that environment. Because I know in Port Renfrew especially, and this area here, it's not, the landscape is not in your face obvious. You really have to work at it and spend time with it. And I think that's where a lot of people are lacking. They don't have the time to get to know the area. So that's what we try to do in the workshops, but in a loose kind of way, because we do wing a lot of it. Oh, Nigel from the Bonsai Zone. Hi, Nigel. I don't know if any of you guys have watched Nigel's channel, but he has a massive following. Does a lot of well, obviously bonsai pruning and Manitoba. Any thoughts, guys, on the Canon R5 for lines? I don't have any because I don't really know. I don't know that camera, but someone did recommend that it was a good one, a lightweight camera. So I might have a look at that. What else have we got here? What's the one thing you wish you could have told yourself 20 years ago?
What was I doing 20 years ago? I think I just got married.
Don't do it. I think I had the same thing. Don't do it. Listen to your friends. Yeah, we'll stay away from that one. That one didn't work out quite well.
Yeah, I'd need a shovel for that one.
Okay, here's one. How difficult was it to quit your job for photography, Adam? Well, I didn't quit my job. I never had a job.
Yeah, he lost his job.
I've never had a 9-to-5 job. I don't know if that's a detriment or
You were doing magazines or
an advantage. How would you start photography? If it was now that you had to take that decision, would you start a YouTube channel straight away?
Oh, it'd be tough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to discourage people. It's like anything else. If you really want it, then you'll find a way to do it. And if you fail, then you'll just get up and just keep working at it. Some people have been extremely successful with photography. I wouldn't say that I've been extremely successful, but I have reached a level that I'm really happy with.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same.
I don't make a lot of money, and I've never set out. That's part of my problem, is that money has never been a big driver for me. But I'm realizing at the same time that obviously you need money to live, and also, like I said, if I wanted to travel to other locations, then of course money does help. I think, I don't know if I would do it the same this time. I think I would probably take up a trade and do photography as a hobby, just because I think a lot of people see photography as photographers are out all the time, just making images and having a great time.
It's not the case, is it?
It's not. I mean, the photography, really, the photography part of it for me, the photographs don't make me any money. It's all the education.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to go out and make photographs because I'm not selling them anymore. I'm not selling the rights to them anymore. But I just really enjoy making photographs. So,
well, that's me. I'll leave here today, go home, put all my stuff in. I'm at work tomorrow till Friday, And after work, that's when I'll get round to editing the video, editing the images. It's a lot of work, but to be honest, I really enjoy doing it, even though it doesn't make us a ton of money. I like the end result, and I like, you know, hearing what you guys have got to say about my videos and my images, and that's what gets me out doing it. It's not about the money.
Yeah. Dennis says it is difficult to do street photography in Parksville. Yes, definitely. Especially after 7, because everybody's gone to bed.
Is that a challenge?
Go down the liquor store, you might see a couple of people. If you all sleep in the van, where do you go to number 2? I haven't figured that out when van camping, except at parks, or if you plan for the right spot. Well,
I have to come down the ladders through the night.
the campsite we're at right now, there is a toilet.
Yeah.
Usually I'll try and find somewhere where there's a toilet, like an outhouse. I mean,
There normally is.
we're really lucky in Canada because there's outhouses everywhere. It's not
Yeah.
like going to Iceland or Scotland where there's toilets. There aren't anywhere, public toilets. It's kind of like the States. I mean, in the States, every rest stop has a toilet. And if I can't find one, then I'll
Dig a hole.
I'll bring a trowel and dig a hole. Pet boudoir. Oh, there's a good one, Barb. I guess we should wrap this up, eh?
You know what time is it?
I don't know. On my watch, my battery ran out.
Is the Guinness in the cooler box? Will be two Guinness in the cooler box.
There we go. Brian and Adam should do a photography competition using Polaroids or kids' cameras.
You've got a Polaroid.
Well, it's not. Yeah, but it's a machine that takes pictures of your on your phone with a Polaroid. But yeah, we could get a Polaroid camera.
Yeah. Street photography in Parksville.
Which British landscape photographer do you rate highly? Joe Cornish. I really admire Joe, not just his photography, but his whole approach. Who else is? Oh, there's.
You're standing next to him.
Yeah, but you're not.
Still a British citizen. I don't know really.
Well, in the genre that I like, put it that way.
Yeah.
Actually, I have one of Joe's prints hanging in my house. I don't know if you guys saw. There was a video that Simon Baxter did with Joe some time ago, where they had an exhibit together, and they were talking about a print of Joe's. Actually, it was an oak tree with mist behind it. It's called Let's Twist Again, and I absolutely love that image. So I got in touch with Joe and I actually got a print of it. I love it. It's got a lot of movement in it, which is quite hard to kind of achieve in photography, especially when the objects aren't moving.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been quite successful, I hope, except for the volume.
We'll turn the volume up next time.
Well, I think that's it for the questions, Bri.
Yeah.
Oh.
Someone jumped in.
Oh, Jamie. Hey up, lads. Here again.
Hey up.
Oh, Seth says volume was fine.
All right, Madder.
Maybe it just worked for some people and not for others. I'm not sure. You're right. This rock's not that comfortable.
No,
when I saw it, I thought it'd be really good just to lean on.
I had to put up with that side for an hour.
It's the wrong angle.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
That's why I was fidgeting all the time. Surprised no one said he's fidgeting all the time.
Thanks for doing this. Don't wait another 3 years for another one. Well, I'll try not to. I might be too old then.
Let us know in the comments if you like the live, and we'll try and sort something out, and we'll do more lives.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to do more lives in the past.
We've talked about it for a while.
But it's hard to get signal. This is just on my cell phone, so
we can either do it on location or back at home when time allows.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great to do something like this.
It's good doing it on location, though, isn't it?
Well, it'd be nice to do something where we can actually show somebody a composition or something like that. You know.
Yeah. We can show you me and Adam in action, shooting trees.
Do a live every other week.
I think we'll do it more when we're on location as long as we've got a signal.
Well, Jennifer says, like the live, it's even better when it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
Brian, someone said, is Brian pissed?
No, this is me live.
He's always like this.
I'm just like this all the time. All natural.
I'm late, but yes, do more. Well, we should try and do more, Brian.
Yeah, we'll try it. It's just that we don't always have a signal.
You never
do
know,
we?
you might get a few more views on your videos.
Oh, don't forget to watch my channel. I do have a video coming out next Sunday from the trip on Horny Island. Oh, sorry, Hornby Island.
Hornby.
Barbara liked that one. What's that? It's always a wasp.
Was your French
Sorry about that.
Was your French tickler?
Tickling the back of my head.
How old are you? Oh,
12.
Brian.
12.
How old are you? 50?
Around that. 53. I know I don't look 53, but I am. I'm not. It doesn't bother me letting people know how old I am. How old are you this year?
I'll be 60 in October 16th. Yeah, that's a big one for me this year.
I'll get you a bingo pen. You know, a dabber? You got bingo? That's what they do in the UK.
I'll be able to get my my pension in a couple of years.
Bus pass.
I get discounts at the hardware store. I think last Wednesday you get a discount at the grocery store.
I've got a bus pass.
Oh yeah?
A compass card, they call it here. Until I'm famous.
Oh, Jennifer says, oh my God, no bingo videos. That would be good. Oh, you get a bus pass at 55. Really?
I'm just looking to see if there's any orcas, because we do get whales in this location.
We do.
We were hoping to see some last night, but we never came across any.
It's an absolutely beautiful day. It's really nice hanging out in this meadow. There's it's very quiet. There's all kinds of wildlife, mostly birds this time of day. And then there's crickets.
Oh, there's a lot of crickets here.
Yeah.
I don't like cricket.
I guess we should.
Oh no.
We should pack up now.
Right.
All right.
It's been good though. It's been all right.
Jamie says, how about a plug for the photography pubcast? Then Adam. Yes.
Yes.
The photography pubcast. Some of you may or
Great bunch of guys.
may not be aware of it. It's on YouTube. It's called the Pubcast. I'm on there now and then. But yeah, it's kind of like this. It's just a bunch of chit chat, mostly middle-aged white guys. We're not very biodiverse, but it's fine. But yeah, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, it's usually good for background stuff when you're cooking dinner.
Yeah. Good to see you back out with the camera, Jamie. Enjoyed your video.
Oh, here's a quick question. Okay, we got more questions.
Coming in thick and fast.
Tell your printing paper choice on different photos, thanks. Well, right now I'm having a bit of trouble with my printing process. I just got a new printer. I had an Epson 7880, which is a 24-inch printer. It's old. I had it for 15 years and I was using mostly Epson paper with it. I really like the cold press paper, but I was also using photo speed paper. But now I've got a Canon printer, and of course the Canon printer doesn't have the ICC profiles for the paper that I like using. So I will probably start using more photo speed paper, and I will continue to use the Epson cold press. I like the texture of it, but there's lots of papers that are similar. I've always had good luck with it, but I have to get an ICC profile made for that paper, so I'm in the process of doing that. I think PhotoSpeed, when you buy their paper, they'll actually do free ICC profiles for you, which is a really great service, because otherwise they usually cost anything from $100 to $200 per profile. I personally would just stick to one or maybe two different papers. So the paper I used most was a matte paper, but that was only because the printer that I had, it was a pain in the butt to use different papers because you had to change the ink set every time you wanted to change over to a coated paper. But this new printer has two different blacks in it, so you don't have to worry about it. It's a long convoluted.
I was falling asleep then.
So-
I often find that when I'm out with Adam, you know, sometimes I fall asleep. Adam likes his naps.
I do.
He went to bed last night. I had to come out on my own.
Thoughts on hosting an in-person question night in Parksville? Yeah, it might be. I don't know if anybody would show up. They might do,
Maybe a few pensioners.
including me.
We thought about meetups, mind. I think meetups would be good.
I would like to organise one,
Yeah.
but the problem I don't know is if we would get enough people.
Like, I meet people all the time in downtown, and that's what's got us thinking whether to do a meetup, you know, sign autographs and all that sort of stuff.
Well, I've been trying to encourage Paul, my friend Paul. He has a great venue right in his village, an amazing venue actually. It's this old house that's. I mean, it's just beautiful in there, and it would be awesome for a venue. You could probably have up to 50 people. I think in the UK or in the States, it would probably work
Yeah,
better.
Canada's tricky because, well, Vancouver's tricky because, I don't know, the UK is it's more saturated, there's more people, so I think that type of thing works
I think,
better.
I mean, I guess the only way you're going to know is by actually organising something and
Yeah.
then giving it a try and seeing what happens. I don't know as if there's enough people in my town to have a venue. And also, are people going to pay? That's the other thing. Unfortunately, I have to make a living somehow, and of course, as soon as money comes up, then it turns people right off.
I do it for the few guineas.
Or less.
Half a Guinness.
Red River papers, yes, I have. Canson Infinity papers, yes. I mean, there's so many different. I mean, there's so many awesome papers out there. I mean, it's just sky's the limit. A lot of these papers, I think Canon papers and some of the other companies are actually from major paper manufacturers like Canson and Red River and so on. They just put their own name on them. And Adam, I will be in Victoria next Friday. Where is the best place to photograph? I get a lot of requests. Like each week I get tons of emails from people asking where to photograph. And I'm not trying to be rude, but if you watch my videos, pretty much every video except for a few is on Vancouver Island. So if you spend the time watching my videos,
Yeah.
you'll find out. Otherwise, I'd spend tons of time, well, you should try this area and this area and this area. I mean, it might be worth my while coming up with some kind of ebook or something. And
Well, I think with photography and that's part of it, you know, finding these locations. If you were just to go, oh yeah, if you turn left and turn right, and that'll be that tree straight in front of you. There's no.
yeah, I mean,
It's a bit too easy.
it does. I mean, obviously, it does take time to find these locations. Most of the locations that I've had in my videos are very easy to get to, and a lot of other photographers have gone to them. But that's why I've started to go into the mountains a little bit more, is because they're areas that I haven't photographed. Like places like Port Renfrew and that. I mean, there's tons of stuff. Just drive and you'll see stuff on the side of the road. Victoria in the spring, there's great stuff. Wildflowers, Uplands Park, Goldstream Park.
Yeah, it was good there. I liked it there.
There's just an abundance of things to photograph. You just have to do a little bit of research on the intraweb.
And put your own twist on it. Try and photograph it differently.
Yeah. But yeah, not to be standoffish or anything. you know, sorry.
Well, at the end of the day, that's how you got that shot. You remember the shot of the tree, the frosted tree with the blue mist? I can't remember where you took that now. Remember you with Thomas Eaton, they all went in the same direction, but you went
Oh,
in a
out in the Rockies,
You know,
yeah.
and that's the thing you've got to do. You've got to try and just be different and just try and avoid photographing what everyone else is photographing.
Yeah, I think when it comes to photographing stuff, I think one of the problems that we have, and I have the same issue sometimes, is that we have these expectations. Like if we go to an area, we have expectations because we might have done some research on it and we see these amazing photographs of whatever. And then of course you go there and it just doesn't look the same or the light's not the same. So I recommend to people to just try and keep your mind open, keep your expectations low, and look for things that go with the light that you have. Kind of like what I said earlier around here, like right now the light is not great for photography, but having said that, if you're motivated enough, there's lots here to photograph. It's just that you have to find the things that will go with this light. And okay, so it might not be what you wanted to photograph when you started the trip, but if you keep an open mind, you might come away with stuff unexpected that was way better than what you were hoping to photograph,
Yeah.
right?
Just like me, I got 2 shots in here. Nothing amazing, but at least it's 2 shots, and I spent an hour having a look round the trees. And when I come back next time, the trees are probably going to be in the same place.
Yeah. I mean, you imagine people that live in areas where, I mean, we're very fortunate out in British Columbia here on the coast. We have an abundance of things and places to go to photograph. But if, you know, say you lived in the Midwest, you might be more limited. So you have to kind of adapt to that area and find things that interest you, you're excited about, and work around that, you know. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy.
What time are we on?
I guess we should pack up, eh?
Well, I've got to catch the ferry.
Yeah.
I've got a ferry at 5:15, so I have to get a ferry from Hornby to Denman, and then I'm off.
Yeah. All
But
right, guys.
it's been good.
All right, guys. Well,
It's
thank
been
you
good.
ever so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This was kind of an impromptu thing. I'll try to sort out the mics if they've been, I don't know.
We've talked about it for a while, and we've never tried it, and we thought, why not? You know, the light's not great for photography now,
Yeah.
but at least we've given it a go.
But thank you ever so much. And like I said, if you have any suggestions about camera gear, I'm really actually, what I'm really interested in is if anybody's actually gone out there and actually weighed some of this stuff and have the pros and cons of the weight rather than just listing stuff that they would use, put a bit more kind of thought into it. Any backpackers out there that have had this dilemma and kind of trying to figure out what gear to bring, I'd be interested in that. All right, how do we end this, Brian?
Where's my camera bag?
Oh, I ended
Oh,
it from
it's
that. That's your phone, isn't it? There you go.
I thought I'd lost my camera bag. Where's it?
All right, thank you ever so much. And
Right.
remember to check out Brian's channel, Brian Barnham. Is it photography?
Yeah, something like that.
Is it Brian Barnham? Was it
Bri Barnham Photography, Landscape Photographer of the Year.
All right. Go check his channel out. All right.
See you later,
See ya,
guys.
bye.
Bye-bye. I think that's it.
How do I turn it off?
Huh?
How do I turn it off?
Does it say stop? Is it still? We're still running.
I don't know how to turn it off.
Just press stop.
Do you just press the X?
Yeah, maybe. Everyone's